so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you're joining me from. I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Accept my greeting according to your time zone. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified anytime I upload a video. You can be among the first to receive it. Then go to the comment section at all times. Leave your comment, drop your contribution. If you have suggestions, make it out there. If you have any criticism, put it down on the comment section. It will make us to get better, presenting you a better program. Thank you so much.
Not to come to pass, that heaven and earth will cease to exist. You opened your mouth to bless mankind to the coming of Yahweh Yeshua, who came here and said, let your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Those words can never be in vain, because they are anchored upon your holiness and your magnificence. That is why in the end we know that Biafra will come, that these children that we have given birth to all over the world, and their children, and their children, and their children, as long as they give birth to them and they are Biafrans, they will worship you in truth and honesty. Through this very work we are doing, mankind will come to understand you. Let your miracle be wrought in our lives. Let us witness and behold your magnificence, your holiness, your mystery, and your grace under our command. O Lord of hosts, we call upon you. We call upon you to heal. We call upon you to provide succor to those of them who are inconsolable. We ask you to come and strengthen those who are weak. We ask you to restore hope where there is hopelessness. We ask you for inclusion where there is destitution. We ask you for one brotherhood, one camaraderie, one bone, one blood, and one flesh of your children. The Efiks and the BPOs, the Izon, the Shekiri, the Isobos, and also those of them from Isobo. We are traveling all the way to the lands of Igala. We are moving on from there to Idoma, to Ige, the Igbo land. All these we dedicate unto thee. All these lands of yours, we ask you to cover it with your mercy, because Biafra will come, and when it does, we will dance on the streets. I'm telling you, by the time that we are done, humanity will think that we are mad, we are drunk in your glory, and rightfully so, because your kingdom will come to rest upon this very earth. That very kingdom is the unadulterated, non-negotiable sovereignty of the Republic of Biafra, that your will may be fulfilled in our time. All this we pray, all these we ask for, in no other name apart from that name that belongs to you. He said,
Welcome, 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 welcome from this program. Thank you for joining me wherever you are joining from. If you are joining from any part of Biafra land, you are joining from Asia, from Europe, from America, from Australia, from Canada, whichever part of the world you are joining us from, I say, may Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide you, protect you, and secure you. I appreciate appreciate everybody that have connected to this program. Please kindly share the program on your platform. I beg you in the name of Chukwu Abiyama, share this program on your platform. Any WhatsApp group that you belong, kindly share the program to that WhatsApp group. Share to family and friends. Share to our enemies. Share it as much as you can. Today is a very remarkable day. A very, very remarkable day. I appreciate every single one of you that have connected, those who are commenting and those who are not on the comment section. I appreciate every single person that have connected to this program. And I tell you, today is a remarkable day. Today is a remarkable day in the life of every Biafran. Today is a remarkable day in the life of everybody from the old southeastern region. I am talking about the present south and the southeast with the lower Benue. Today is a remarkable day in the life of every Biafran. In case you have forgotten, we are remembering our heroes today. Today is 30th May, a very remarkable day. A day that the sacrifice of the Biafran people started. A day that our parents gave their life, our grandparents gave their life, and made up their mind to defend their children. A day that our parents rose up in anger. He rose up in strength and confidence with the presence of Chukwu Abiyama and decided that enough is enough. That day is today. It's supposed to be a remarkable day. Today is a special day. It doesn't matter. Let me tell you, wherever you are watching this program from, for the record, this platform is an autopilot platform under the Biafran Republic Government in Exile, under our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, and on the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is where I personally stand. Wherever you stand, whoever you believe in, whatever you have in your mind, whatever you think is your own agenda, I have nothing against you. Today is a day that every single one of us has to focus. Today is a remarkable day that every single one of us as a Biafran has to be focused. Focus on one thing: our freedom. It is a day that you cannot afford to miss. It is a day that you cannot afford to derail. It's a day that you cannot afford to be looking against your own brother or sucking against your own brother instead of focusing on the enemy. Today is supposed to be a day that reminds us of the unity of the Biafran people. Many heroes of the Biafrans lost their life. This is the day we remember the sacrifice that have been made by several strong men in Biafran land. Men and women, children have paid a great sacrifice that has made us, that is motivating us to continue to speak today, to continue to fight on today. They didn't die in vain. We will never forget. We will never ever forget. And I don't think we will forgive. Today, 30th May, is a day that we must have to pay attention to. This is a day you have to put away every sentiment. As long as you have the Biafran blood flowing in your vein, as long as you are from the old southeastern regions, as long as your grandmother is tying 2 pieces of wrapper, you are a Biafran. And today is a special day in your life. Our great-grandparents took a decision on this day. They took a decision to protect you and protect me. And I can tell you, if not for the decision they took, maybe you and I will not be alive today. If not for the move they make, maybe we will not be here today. But they took that decision to defend you, to defend me. And many of them paid the ultimate sacrifice. It is a day we don't joke with. A day we will always remember. And this year's celebration is coming at a very critical time. The remembrance of the heroes this year is coming at a very critical time, a time where the memory is very fresh in our head. The attack against the Biafran people is very fresh and has continued onward again and again. Today, if you are a Biafran and you are still waiting for me to come and beg you, if you're a Biafran, you are still waiting for Mazi Simon Ekpa to beg you to stand up for yourself. If you're a Biafran, you are still waiting for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to beg you to stand up and fight. I'm sorry. Your situation is a helpless one. The direction of the Biafran people have been spelled out. The Prime Minister of Biafran Republic government in exile, Mazi Simon Ekpa, has spelled out our direction. Our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, gave the order and told us our direction. Today, every single one of us under Biafran Republic government in exile, with our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, have defined our direction. The only direction we are focusing on is our freedom. It doesn't matter how it comes. It doesn't matter who it comes from. That is why I am telling you, on this important day, it doesn't matter what you think in your head or who you think you are following. It doesn't matter who you think you want to believe. I don't care. Whoever you call your brother, whatever direction you think is best to get Biafra, the only thing that should matter for you in your heart today should be, how are we going to be free? We lost more than 5 million people in 1967. Biafran people gave their life for you and I to survive. Children lost their life. Mothers lost their life. Fathers lost their life for you and I to be alive today. This day that we are remembering them should be a day that marks our turnaround and the unification of Biafran people. Today, Biafra land is locked down under lock and key. And you can agree with me that regardless who you think you're following, regardless what you think is your belief or the direction or the way you think you want to fight for the freedom, today is a specific day where every one of us agree that remembering our heroes is important. The same way we come together today to remember our heroes, hold it firm. The stage we are now is not a time when you begin to look at your brother as an enemy. Today, the enemy of Biafran people is spelled out. They have called themselves by their names. They have told us to our face. It is no longer a guesswork. If you have been guessing all this while, are you wanted in the zoo or not? Today, it has been pronounced that the Biafran people are not needed anywhere in that contraption called Nigeria. That is the fact that you must have to put into your brain. No matter how difficult it is for you to understand it clear. If you are a Biafran, understand it very clear that you have no place in the contraption called Nigeria. You are not part of it. There is no arrangement anywhere for you there. The only place where your hope lies is in Biafra. That is why our eternal leader, Dim Odumegwu, described Biafra as a place where people who are oppressed run into to be secured. When you trace from the history, from 1967, the Biafran war that was fought, we never prepared for it, we never called for war. The Biafran people never called for war. Nigeria rose up and they brought war upon us. And what Biafrans were doing was to defend themselves, to make sure that they are not wiped away from the surface of the earth. That was the mission we had in 1967, to defend ourselves, protect our land and secure our people. That was what we were doing in 1967. Gowon called a war on Biafran people. He called it a military action against Biafran people. And many Biafrans lost their life. Children were starved to death. We can never forget. And I don't think we will forgive. Just as our supreme leader have said, Chukwu Okike is still keeping that evil man alive today, for him to see with his own eyes the coming of Biafra. And as our Prime Minister have said, the coming of Biafra it is going to be in 2023 that you are watching. It has been activated fully, and nothing will stop it. Starting from tonight, since yesterday when they launched in their Islamic government in Nigeria, from that time onwards, the Biafra Republic government in exile, we conducted we voted a vote of no confidence on the politicians in Biafra land. We have voted a vote of no confidence on them. Biafrans participated, and we no longer had anything to do with anybody that has any political post in that contraption. If you are a politician, starting from your local government chairman to the highest level, whichever way you find yourself, the Biafrans have given you a vote of no confidence. And from that vote onwards, the Biafra Republic government in exile is taking charge of everything that goes on in the affairs of Biafran people. You know, most of the time when we make a speech or when our Prime Minister says a word, they take it as a bluff. But I'm telling you that water is going to swallow them this time around. Chukwu Okike is going to fight our battle. And you as a Biafran, do not ask yourself question, how is it going to happen? Do not focus on the question, how is it going to happen? Don't be deceived. Don't be afraid. All you have to do is obey simple instruction. Follow our Prime Minister and obey every single instruction. The battle will be fought by Chukwu Okike himself. He has done it before, and he's going to do it again. The enemy we are up against are too numerous. They have all the contacts, they have everything they need, they have all the weapons. But I tell you, the sacrifice of our heroes will never be forgotten. And in our own generation, that which they died for, we are going to get it. That which our heroes gave their life for, we are going to get it in our own time. And wherever you are as a Biafran, you better begin to prepare yourself. Prepare for everything. Prepare for the worst. Whatever comes out, we are going to face it and face it head on. But I assure you that he that promised is faithful. Chukwu Okike have given us a go ahead to move into our land, and we are going to move. Every Biafran that have paid a sacrifice for us, we remember them today. Starting from Dim Odumegwu, Effiong, and so many other people who fought for us during the Civil War. Everyone that have fought gallantly to keep us and to sustain Biafra up to the moment which they deceived themselves and said no victor, no vanquish. Everyone that lost his life, all the children, all the mothers, we remember them today. In the era of our Supreme Leader Mazen Nandekan, many members of the ESN have lost their life. People who are fighting to defend their land and to protect their people. Just like in 1967, it was about defending our people. We never called for war. The same thing is happening again. We are demanding for referendum and not for war. Our Supreme Leader Nandekan have shouted and called many times for referendum. Our Prime Minister also has the agenda of referendum, but they pay no attention to it. Instead, what do? They bring war upon us. But I bet you, it can no longer be business as usual. They have pushed the Biafran people to the wall. And today, we are no longer sharing tears. We are no longer complaining. We are no longer writing unnecessary petitions. Today, Biafra is taking action. The Biafra de facto government have been activated in Biafra land. It has been activated.
So the zoo themselves are getting the message. The world is getting the message how prepared we are to go home. May Chukwu Okike Abịama continue to guide and protect the Biafra Republic government in exile. They are doing a marvelous work, changing things on all angles, on all sections. We will never forget. We have lost a lot of people. We lost mothers. We lost sisters. We lost brothers, children in Biafra, and we are starved to death. And you think we will just forget? We will never forget. And I don't think we are going to forgive. Forgiveness is in the hand of Chukwu Okike Abịama. Only him and him alone. But for us, we will never, ever forget. Today is a remarkable day. 30th May. A day that move was made to defend Biafra land. And from today, we draw a new energy, a new strength to continue to fight on to the promised land. Today, 30th, is a line marking the absolute move into the liquidation of Biafra. It is going to happen before your own very eyes. It's up to you if you want to joke about it. My speech today is to Biafran people and not to anybody else. I'm talking to my fellow Biafrans. Wherever you're watching me from, wherever you're watching as a Biafran, I tell you, it doesn't matter what you believe, what you think. Remember the word of our Supreme Master Nandekan. Whatever you will do to give us Biafra, go and do it. It doesn't matter how you do it. We don't care how the Biafra comes. All we need is our freedom, and Biafra must come. Gone are the days when you begin to see your own brothers as enemy. Today, the enemy of Biafra people have defined themselves. They have defined themselves. And you can know them easily. They are not easy, very hard to know. We know that our enemies, they have made themselves known and they call us out openly. And today, you see our governors. Every single governor in Biafra land is an enemy of Biafra. No one is spared. And as we have cast the vote of no confidence on them, they are going to hear from Biafran people henceforth. Every governor in Biafra land, every senator in Biafra land, every House of Assembly member in Biafra land, local government chairman or whatever you call yourself, as long as you're serving under the contraption called Nigeria, you are the enemy of Biafra. As the Biafran people cast the vote of no confidence on you people yesterday, that vote of no confidence renders your powers useless. And very soon, you are going to take to your heels in Biafra land. It is going to happen. It doesn't matter how it's been delayed, but I tell you, in this 2023, we continue to pursue the mandate of Biafra until we get